Hello there, Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to the Trinity Stamps YouTube channel. I'm excited today to be sharing with you some new products from the Warm and Cozy release. Today I'm going to be featuring a new Slimline die set. It's the Staggered Rectangle Die. I'm also going to be using the Happy Trees die set. So here's the Staggered die. You can see it has offset rectangles. About this die, it does not cut out the outer edge. So what I did is cut a panel that was 8.5 by 3.5, super easy to do, and then run this through with my die, and you can see it die cuts out those 5 rectangles, and it cuts out a frame. So you can see here the 2 pieces that fall out in each of those openings. I also die cut this from red and green cardstock, and then I'm going to use this new pattern paper. It is so gorgeous. I love that it's slimline. I can fit my die right on this pattern and die cut it out, and I will have the same rectangles and frames and the offset piece as well. So I'm going to use the inside pieces from that. Also, I wanted a green piece and I had a really hard time deciding between this plaid and that polka dot piece. And in the end, I decided to go ahead and use that polka dot piece. So I'll run that through with the die again. And this is going to leave me with a bunch of pieces that I'm not going to use on today's card. So what I decided to do was keep them all in a nice little clear sleeve, and then I have a bunch of pieces I can pull out and use another time. I'm going to put temporary adhesive on the back of this panel to secure it to my 8.5 by 3.5 panel that I will then be adhering my rectangles to. So I'm going to put these frames in every other color, red, green, just like that. And next will go the pattern paper. So the print that has the typed script will go in the red rectangle frames, and then the polka dots will go into the green rectangle frames. And I'll just alternate those every other one to fill out the background of this card. So this could be the background for your card. You could use it just like this by inlaying those pieces. So I'm going to remove this frame now, but I decided I wanted to take it a notch up. If you know me, you know I love shaker cards. So that's what I'm going to make. I'm adhering now a piece of window sheet that measures 8.5 by 3.5, just a hair under. That way it gives me a little bit of space to get it on there. And once that is glued on and dry, I added some foam tape, which I doubled up and cut into skinny strips in and around these rectangles. So around the outer edge and in between each rectangle, making sure not to have any openings so my shaker elements do not escape. And then I'm going to use an anti-static powder tool around the edge of that foam, and then I just used a dry paintbrush to brush away any excess powder from the window sheet itself. Then I use the same anti-static powder bag across the background, and then I'm going to use some fun shaker elements from Trinity. These are little trees and little berries. Super cute, but you can see you kind of have a hard time. So I have this new tidy little tray from Trinity, and it makes playing with embellishments so easy. I love it. And it has the little spout so you can easily pour the excess that you don't use back into the container or a bag, whatever your shaker bits might have come out of. So I'll pour those back in, and then I can save them for another time. But look at these tiny trees. They're so cute. All right, so then on the green rectangles, I'll be using some snowflakes. So different shaker elements, which I love, and that's why each of my shaker windows are divided so they can each have their own little shaker bits inside them. Now I'm just pressing them or spreading them out so they're not stacked up on top of each other. Then I removed the backing from the foam tape, and then I can just line those rectangles up very slowly, very carefully, and press this down into place. And there is my fun shaker windows. Next, I'm going to be creating some backgrounds to die cut out these pieces to create some trees. This is the Happy Trees die set. Such a fun set where you can build your own trees. So I'm using 3 different Distress Oxide inks. The first one is Twisted Citron, and I'm just completely covering this 1/4 of a square of cardstock. So 5.5 by 4 1/4. Once that's covered, I spritzed it with water and set it aside to dry while I used my Mode Lawn Distress Oxide ink for the second panel. So what I'm wanting to do is create some ombre trees. So the top is lighter, then I have a medium shade, and then a darker shade of green. I'll do the same thing with this one, spritzing it with water and picking up that excess water with a paper towel and setting it aside to dry. My third color is Lucky Clover Distress Oxide ink, and I'll just cover this third panel with that, and then I have my 3 different colors for die cutting my trees. I'll spritz that with water as well. I love the look that you get when you spritz it and you get those water droplets and it makes a different color. It's just so fun. Next, I brought in some metallic watercolors. I'm going to use this white color to make some splatter all across these panels, and that gives it a little bit of shimmer and building up the dimension in the splatter. It's my favorite thing to do. So I'll clean off my brush, and then I'm going to go in with this green color, also metallic, and splatter that all over the 3 backgrounds as well. So those are going to dry, and once they're dry, I'm going to take these dies and die cut out 5 pieces on each of the panels. So I'll have 5 small pieces, 5 medium-sized pieces, and 5 large pieces to create some trees. Now I did have to run the lightest panel through one more time. I only had 4 that I wanted to use for the smallest size. So you can see I have plenty of my background left over. So I'm going to save these with this die set. So if I want to make more trees in the future, I will still have some paper to do that. I also die cut out the trunks. There are 5 different dies for trunks in this set. So I was able to run that through one time and have all 5 of my trunks. I'm going to glue a trunk down on each of these windows so I can create a tree on each of the 5 windows. And these trees are so much fun to make, like just building a little puzzle. I loved it. So those will go down with glue. Then when it came time to stick on the parts of my tree, I had these really large glue dots, and they're kind of thick. So I thought this would be a happy medium between gluing them down and popping them up with like a foam square. So they have a little bit of dimension, but not too much since they're already sitting on top of a shaker panel. So 1, 2, 3 pieces to build my little tree in the 3 different colors of green. And I just had fun kind of mixing and matching, and maybe some of them are a little bit more wonky than others, and I thought that was just fine. Like this middle tree right here, I felt like maybe the top I picked didn't exactly go, or I think it's maybe the next tree. But in the end, I thought they just turned out so cute, having a little bit of a wonky look, and you can just make them however you want. Speaking of wonky, there's also faces in this die set, so you could give your trees faces, but I thought this card was busy enough without. But I did use the star from the set and die cut 5 stars from glitter paper and add those to the top of each of the trees. Now this is the Senti-mini Merry Christmas Senti-mini die set. It is new, and you can see here sometimes those dies are just too close together to be able to snip them apart, and so I like to twist them apart, and I just wanted to show you how easy that was in case you ever had trouble like me snipping them apart. All right, so I glued down the Merry Christmas, which I die cut from red cardstock. I love that the heart or the Y has a heart in it, which just totally goes with my look because I love to do hearts in my glue on the back of my cards. So I love this. And now I'm adding the little top to the eye. You might have seen me press my Christmas down with a paper towel. That's because I had a little excess glue that seeped out, and the paper towel picks it up for me. Now this die that is a banner shape is with that Merry Christmas Senti-mini stamp set, and it die cuts the skinniest little border, and I love it, the little frame. And that Happy New Year is from the Greetings of the Season sentiment set, and it worked perfect for today's card. If you liked today's video, I'd love for you to give it a thumbs up so I know, and I would also love to chat with you, so leave a comment below and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you all again very soon with more crafty fun with Trinity stamps. Thanks so much for watching, and happy stamping. Bye!